Welcome everybody to the Legacy League's Week 9 pregame pick'em show, brought to you by Sportslook Passing League. I'm with Connor, Greg, and Stuckey. Guys, we are at the finale of the regular season. Next time you see us, we'll be recapping what was the regular season and looking forward to the playoffs. But before we get there, we've got a full slate of games this week. We'll start with 6 o'clock on Court 1. We have STP and Sportslook. We're going to put that spread at 9.5 in favor of Sportslook, who they got a win last week with only 4 players. They did play Fry Time, and STP, and arguably their first game against a real quality opponent, they had their doors blown off by Team Moose. So can they cover this 9.5 point spread, or does Sportslook get a win?
I like STP with the points in this one. I know Sportslook's a solid team, but I think STP's due for a win.
As long as the whole Sportslook team's there, I'm taking Sportslook.
I'm going to take STP with the points.
All right, so we'll be an even split. I'm going to go Sportslook as well. But Greg, why are you like STP? Sportslook. Sorry.
I just think Dan Kokoros, I think I said his name right. Apologies if I didn't. He's a man amongst boys. I don't know how anyone on their team is going to really be able to guard him. Brian Acevedo just needs to shoot better from 3. He's 27% from 3. If he shoots a little better from 3, that 23 points per game moves up to 26, 27. I just also don't trust STP. Mike Slater, he's good. Mike Zuri, they're good, but they just might need to do more and a lot more in order for them to get a win against this Sportslook team.
And meanwhile, same time, but on Court 2, we have Fry Time and the Double Dribblers. It's a pick'em, but it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be a quality game. The two teams have combined for 1 win so far this season. So it is a pick'em game. Who do we like?
I'm taking the Double Dribbler straight up.
Double Dribblers.
Double Dribblers.
All right, so we're unanimous on this one. We're all going Double Dribblers. Connor, we'll let you elaborate on this one.
Yeah, I think that's because Fry Time hasn't picked up a win yet. Double Dribblers has shown flashes at times throughout the season. They haven't been a consistent team, obviously, but they could potentially pull off a win here tonight. And I really like their guys like Jesse Doucette, who's one of the best sharpshooters in the league, and Malik Colbert, who's putting up 14 a game. Those two guys combined are averaging over 26 points per game when they're combining their efforts together. So I think that those are the two best guys on the court tonight for both teams, so I think it should be them taking the edge tonight.
Another winless team, Sometimes Why. They're in action at 7 o'clock on Court 2 against Eric Singleton and Lob 203. Sometimes Why, they lost by almost 80 to the Flint Tropics last week. They've been blown out almost every game this season. So we'll put Lob 203 at -20. Is there any way Sometimes Why can cover this spread?
They haven't been able to cover the biggest spreads that we put on them. So 20 points, Lob 203. I'm taking Lob with those points.
Yeah, Lob, that's it.
Lob 203.
All right, so another unanimous. Stuckey. Why is it going to be another blowout?
Sometimes Why still winless. You know what I mean? Eric Singleton, 26.9 points a game. He only averages 1 assist per game, but look for him to get 5-6 assists tonight because this is maybe their easiest game all season, and he's going to try to get those guys involved and try to start getting those guys involved for the playoffs so they know how to handle themselves in game situations because he's kind of been their only offensive threat. So look for Lob 203 to have maybe 20 assists as a team tonight. So.
That's a good point. You can argue Singleton's assist numbers will be up if his teammates made some more of their shots.
Yeah, he might have to do so much.
So 7 p.m. Court 1. Now we've got a good one on our hands. We have the undefeated Monstars against the streaking Central Chocolate. They've won 6 in a row. So 2 really high-powered offenses. It's going to be a fun night seeing Greg Langston and Carmine Santarelli in a little bit of a shootout maybe. So we'll put the Monstars at -8. They're undefeated. They're second in the power rankings. So who do we like in what should be a great game?
Yeah, I anticipate a great game. I anticipate a close game, so with the 8 points, I'm going to take Central in this one.
Last time I checked, the only team that can beat the Monstars is the Looney Tunes with Michael Jordan, so I'm going to go the Monstars.
I'm going to go Monstars.
All right, well, we're split on this one. I'm going to go Central Chocolate. And Connor, why are we going to be right?
Well, I think it's, obviously we always talk about Carmine. That goes without being said that Carmine's going to show out tonight. I think he shows out almost every game. But I think we don't talk enough about Troy Brunson, who's one of the best big men in this league. He really bangs down low. He gives them a low post presence that they're going to need against a team like the Monstars. You need that big body. Troy's giving them 17.2 points per game. That's the second most behind Carmine on that team, and he's leading the team in rebounds at 7.5 a game. So he's close to a double-double. One of the closer double-doubles amongst big men in the league right now when you're coming just in terms of averages. So I really like Troy, and I really like if Aaron Samuel shows up, that'll be a key factor for them as well. He hasn't been there consistently, literally in terms of actually showing up, not like actually performing, but if he can show up and give them, an extra offensive boost and the Santarelli brothers and the way Troy's been playing, I can actually see Central winning this game straight out, even not including the points that they're getting in the spread.
And now I'm eager to see what is going to come of this game at 8 o'clock. The Throne and Brotherhood. You have the Throne who have one loss, clearly a statement possibility for the Throne going against a team like the Brotherhood, who now with 2 losses, surprisingly looking to actually gain some momentum going into the playoffs, which we never thought would be their issue here in the final game of the regular season. They'll still be favored in what seems like a friendly spread at 5.5 for the Brotherhood. Is it too friendly, or can the Throne maybe pull out an upset?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the Brotherhood are going to cover that spread, and I'm picking them in this one.
Brotherhood.
I'm actually going to go with the Throne. The Throne.
All right, Stucky, you're the lone man. I'm going to go with the Brotherhood as well, so why don't you explain yourself?
Well, I don't, in a game like this, I don't think stats matter. I think it's a pride versus pride kind of thing. The Throne, you talked about momentum. The Throne is on a uphill, and the Brotherhood is searching for positive momentum, you know what I'm saying? So I think the Throne will use their positive momentum that they already have, and they have more weapons right now because more guys are getting involved for them than the Brotherhood have. And they're a bigger team when you talk about heart versus heart when you talk against the Brotherhood, because the Brotherhood only has 2 scorers, Russell Payton, Mike Davis. They don't come to play, the Brotherhood lose. We saw the last 2 weeks. They didn't come to play, they lost. So I'm looking for the Throne to get a big win tonight.
I think that also speaks pretty highly of Brotherhood's 2 scorers. You think that that's all they have, yet they were right there against No Limit last week. So that'll be interesting. One that might not be as interesting over on the other court at 8 o'clock, Flight Club and Flint Tropics. And we mentioned earlier the Flint Tropics ran all over Sometimes Why last week. So corn dogs for everybody all around. We might be looking at that again this week. An even smaller team in the Flight Club. So we'll put it at -25, but I personally think that was minimalized a little bit. So, I'm assuming we're unanimous, but let's see.
Yeah, I think that the Flint Tropics are going to cover. The 25 points is huge, but I feel like they've covered most of their spreads this year.
Let's get tropical.
I'm sitting on the bandwagon with the Flint Tropics.
Yeah, so am I. And you think these are probably the 2 loudest crowds too? So this might be maybe those crowds will make this a little more enjoyable. But Greg, why will the Flint Tropics run away with this one?
Well, in the words of Jackie Moon, Flight Club will be saying, "Everybody panic! It's like a Titanic but full of bears." And corn dogs again. You said it. This Flint team's big. They're strong. They can shoot. Ryan Caggiano exploded last week out of nowhere. Where would that come from? Mike Bizzuto's just continuing to play well. He's so consistent. Cody Doubleday's hot, and I just think Flint has too much for Flight Club. Where's Jacob Miller? He didn't play the first 3 quarters last week, and he shoots 44% from 3. He's arguably one of our best shooters from the 3-point line in this league. So I'm just really kind of worried about Flight Club and the direction they're heading, because I don't know why one of their better scorers wasn't playing last week. So Flint.
And they better bring those corn dogs, because I didn't eat on the way here.
So. Especially if it's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. So now we go back to it. It seems like we're going back and forth. But now we have another good one on our hands, it seems like, at 9 o'clock. Run TMC Goon Squad. Run TMC, big win against rival Stranger Danger last week. Goon Squad has also looked much better. They lost 2 weeks ago, but that was a great game they played against the Brotherhood. So we'll put Goon Squad -3, assuming they have Brandon Massaro back and their full squad. So who do we like in this one?
Taking TMC.
Run TMC, run.
I'm taking Goon Squad.
I'm gonna go Run TMC actually. So Stucky, you're the odd man out here.
Matt Marconi, he'll guard Will, and with him guarding Will, those are 2 big body guys. Usually Will goes off when he has smaller guys, but against bigger, longer guys, he kind of struggles a little bit to get going down low early. Matt Marconi is going to make him frustrated a little bit, and then Matt Marconi guards the best player on each team every week, and he still scores well. And then I'll look for Brandon Massaro to use his transition, his defense to turn it into transition offense for those guys. So I'm going Goon Squad all the way.
You got guys like Will Hudson and Marconi seemingly being the factors. It could be a game decided at the free throw line with them battling out beneath the rim. So we'll have to see. So now we go to another one that might get out of hand, although Redemption actually looked good last week against a really good Monstars team. But now they get No Limit, who's atop the power rankings. They're at 8-0. We'll put it at 17.5 in favor of the undefeated No Limit. Is that enough?
I don't think so. I think No Limit's going to cover that spread.
There's no limit to no limit, no limit.
No limit to no limit.
We need some new puns, but I'm also going to go with No Limit. So, Stucky, again, we'll go to you.
No Limit is still undefeated. And though Redemption did play well last week, No Limit is a different team. They're a team that likes to humiliate their opponent. They don't care how many points they score, they're going to run it up, and they're not going to take their foot off the throttle. So, and you got some MVP candidates in that on that roster. So, I'm looking for No Limit to take it because 17.5 isn't enough.
Another team that might be able to run it up and who did last week is Team Moose, who many of us consider a championship contender. And they get the untouchables. You know, you have the emergence of Trevor Chavez. We were already considering Team Moose a perennial contender, and then this guy shows up out of nowhere. So we'll put Team Moose at -24. Probably could be more. What do you think?
I'm taking Team Moose. I think that's a friendly spread for them.
Agreed, Team Moose.
Team Moose.
Team Moose all around. So Connor, why are we all going Team Moose?
You started to allude to it in the beginning there that Trevor Chavez has been huge for them, literally and figuratively. He's shooting 90% from the field in his 2 games. Like, that's unheard of. He's putting up over 20.5 points a game, so he's not just doing it on a few shot attempts. He's giving them big shot numbers and putting up the points as well. And also leading their team in rebounds since he's been there with over 7 a game. So, you know, you put all those things together, and we always talk about Team Moose as their defensive team, right? They're so good, they're so sound defensively, they make it so hard for you to score on. But they're shooting 68% from the field, leading the entire league in field goal percentage. So that definitely does not. We don't speak about that enough. You know, it goes under the radar that they're so efficient with their offensive looks. So if you can't score on them, they're going to make sure that they score on you. So that's just a recipe for lots of wins, which we've seen from them this season.
And real quick, we put the over-under on missed shots for Team Moose at 8 last week. They actually wound up getting 12. So real quick, let's put it at 10 this week. I'm going to go under this time, but what does everyone else think?
Yeah, I think I'll go under, probably around 9 this game for them.
I'm going over because, again, I think they're just going to experiment with the 3 ball a little more.
Yeah, I think over because they're going to try to stretch the floor on untouchables.
Still, they won by 40-plus
True.
last week and only missed 12 shots. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. But anyway, we'll end with a pick'em at 10 o'clock. It's Stranger Danger and the Bad Boys. Now, both of these teams' late turnovers kind of crippled both of them last week. For the Bad Boys, they lost to the Throne in overtime. For Stranger Danger, they kind of lost it in the 4th quarter when they had a chance to come back against Run TMC, but too many home run passes after some made buckets by Run TMC. So we'll put it at a pick'em. Who can conquer those turnover demons late in this one and get a win?
Man, that's a tough one. I don't really know who I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to have to pick out the Bad Boys to pull out.
Yeah, I got Bad Boys.
The Bad Boys. I'm going to go with the Bad Boys.
Wow, pick'em game and we're actually unanimous because I'm going to go the Bad Boys as well. So, Greg.
You know, the weird thing about this game is usually when we analyze games, there's 2 different sets of attributes that each team has. But the funny thing is, Stranger and Bad Boys are kind of similar. They turn the ball over, they shoot very efficiently from outside, they sometimes don't box out, and the other team gets 2nd and 3rd chances, which really kills you in this league. And it is kind of a rivalry game. I mean, I know there's former teammates on the teams, but it really comes down to hustle and heart, I think, for both these teams. They're talented. They have the talent. We've seen their talent come through. I mean, we've seen Destin Simmons score 44. We've seen Zachary Graham have almost triple-double. Steve Eccles is a former All-Star. But it's just this game's going to come down to just who wants it more, I think, in the end.
All right, so there you have it. A full slate of games for Week 9. Follow it all at Legacy_Leagues on Twitter and Snapchat and Facebook as the playoff picture starts to come a little bit into focus and our own little standings come into focus here. Your new pick'em standings. I'm still on top at 42 and 26, but Connor right at my heels at 40 and 28, so just 2 games back. Greg 34 and 34, Stucky 22 and 28, so nobody mathematically eliminated yet, so that's another storyline to follow here in Week 9, but we'll see everybody after all the action for the postgame and enjoy the games.